He'll get your life back to normal. Lonnie with Restore It Restoration.
Ruel,
Lonnie,
are you sitting against a wall or something?
No, I'm leaning over the rail of a porch, getting some sunshine.
Yeah, every now and then I get a little echoey sound or hollow, or sounds different.
Yeah, let me remove my earbud and just go raw.
I didn't even hear what you said.
How's it now?
Oh, much, much better.
Yeah, it's
Jackie Jones and Kurt will appreciate it.
Yeah, it's a crappy Bluetooth ear thingy product.
Is it not an Apple earbud thing?
No, and I wish it was. I'm using like the lowest end version of these Raycon Bluetooth earbud type thingies.
Oh, yeah. Raycon that was advertised by our mutual friend for about a split second.
Yeah.
So it sounds like they suck.
Yeah, there's things that I miss from, for half the price, you get something that works. As the basic Bluetooth connectivity, you have a mic, you can hear stuff, but yeah, consistency is an issue. And they're the lower end of their product line, so I can only imagine the higher end stuff, hopefully, or the more expensive stuff is better. And I've complained to their customer support at one point in time about why their little mesh thing in the inside, of their ear device just comes out. It's like a little piece of mesh cloth that had been poorly glued. Yeah. They're like, well, that's there because it's to eliminate any debris going into the actual unit. I'm like, yeah, but like Apple's earbuds, they're more like some sort of like lightweight metal or something, and it's sort of
hands down
in.
The wireless earbud things, AirPods, whatever you call them from Apple, hands down. So far, they've just been the best. They're the most comfortable. I sleep in mine, actually. I fall asleep watching Netflix or something on my phone, or I'll mirror it over to my TV in my bedroom, but I'll fall asleep with them in. I wake up with the earbuds in my ears. Maybe one might fall out, maybe, about once a week. One will fall out while I'm sleeping, but otherwise, they're in my ears when I wake up.
So here's the thing with the Apple ones that you won't get with these other guys like Raycon is the AirPods. You could do the whole double tap sort of thing on the unit to actually run some commands, and if you misplace it in the house or somewhere, you could do sort of like a Find My AirPod, feature, kind of like Find My iPhone sort of feature.
Yeah. Is that for the Apple or the Raycon?
For the Apple. So you don't have any of that.
You're right.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I'd love to get get another pair of the Apple ones and, flush these down the toilet or something.
and I don't buy the high end Apple EarPod Pros or something. No, I just got the first generation. They work great. I actually have two pairs. First pair I bought, I can listen to podcasts or phones or anything. I can listen just fine, but for some reason my right earbud, talking on it on my old pair, you can't hardly hear me. So if I'm wearing them during the day, then and I get a phone call, I got to take my right ear out before I answer so that you can, so that I can talk to you. And then I got a new pair as well that works great, and I can talk. And then I got all the waterproof, life-proof case things on my phone, and those work great. I like them fine, but I can't just hold it to my ear and talk to you because it sounds like I'm talking through a pillow or something. So I have to kind of use these earbud things.
Oh yeah, I was there. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm always in dirty environments, wet environments, whatever. So, I don't dare just leave, piece of glass exposed without, I don't want water in places it doesn't belong. So anyway, yeah. So
yeah, we've kicked off the podcast, but it doesn't sound like any different.
Not really.
Conversation quality. Our listeners are learning a whole lot.
It's frozen pipe season around here.
Oh, yeah.
And man, we're just hammered and calls day and night. And I just got kind of a running list. I woke up with already, I don't even know how many appointments I already had. I had 4 existing appointments with 2 new water jobs to go look at. And then in the just course of the day, I picked up 2 new water jobs to go look at on top of the 4, 6, 8. Yeah, it's like eight calls a day, and we're just now slowing down. I literally just keep a notepad with names and phone numbers and addresses, and I'm just telling them, like, I don't know, because I don't know if you know this. I've probably told you. When I show up to a water job,
mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'm going to be there 1 hour or 12 hours.
Wow.
You just don't know until, you just go through and you spend, the first portion of my visit just trying to explore and figure out based off what they're telling me versus what I'm seeing, and then trying to make it's like a CSI investigator or something, like they're saying, like one guy today, he's telling me, well, we heard a pop below the floor, and next thing you know, we see water, and then it's behind his toilet. So I'm, close the lid, and I'm leaning on top of his toilet tank or toilet seat and poking around. I see the moisture, and the next thing you know, I'm getting dripped on my head from up above. Nobody had looked at up above, so yeah, I just had to go figure this out. And then this room was an add-on. It was a porch, and then previous owner, enclosed it in and made it a room. And so then they just bore some holes through their foundation wall, shove some pipes through there. And so I see more water coming down from up above, but yet they're telling me they heard a pop. And next thing you know, after the pop, water started gushing out of the floor back into their laundry room in the basement from this area. And, so literally just a look-see. I thought it was a simple look-see. And it turns out he's my mechanic guy. And I say, hey, I have 0 equipment on me, but I'm literally like 6 blocks from your house. Let me come take a look. An hour and a half later, I get my head wrapped around this, because it's like when you're getting dripped from up above, but you're thinking it's on the floor, then that sends me down a whole nother squirrel rabbit hole, to go figure out where this water is coming from. It looks like he has an ice dam going on and a pipe break under the floor. And the bathroom, it's a half bath. You can literally take a dump and brush your teeth. It's that tiny. It's not big enough for 2 people. And anyway, yeah. So I don't know when I show up if I'm at your house for 1 hour or 12 hours, depending on what it is.
So the property owners. I was just going to say, so he's regular and has some nice clean teeth, but he just has broken pipes everywhere.
You probably don't even know what an ice dam is, do you?
No, of course not. How would I know? What is it?
Yeah. So it's where it's usually, it happens at the edge of the roof line, soffit line of your house, where some heat is, your interior heat is escaping up through. Usually it's missing insulation or something along those lines, where heat is coming up and it's melting the snow that's sitting on the edge of your roof line somewhere. And it's melting what's underneath we've had 10, 12 inches of snow this week with sub-zero temperatures. So you got, 70, 80 degrees going up, melting that layer. And then it's melting, dripping inside and then migrating into his house. And that's a simplified version of a nice thing. Idiots like Kurt raking snow off their roof because they're trying to prevent collapse and they're trying to prevent ice dams. Anytime you see icicles hanging from your gutters or fascias and soffits and stuff, that tells a guy like me driving by that either your gutters are really clogged and dirty and the snow melt is just dripping and running over, or it's telling me you have an ice dam going on. I can drive by your house and see icicles hanging off your front porch, and that tells me you got an issue going on. And if it hasn't made it into your house yet, it will. I could literally drive by and hand out business cards to people with icicles hanging off their front porch. I don't do that because I don't need to.
Yeah, the last place we were at had icicles coming off the side. And where we're currently at, there isn't as much snow as last time. So yeah.
So you don't have chains on your van and stuff?
No, but there are parts of the area that still have snow and stuff, but the roads are good. But we were prepared. So
where are you at?
The chains. Lake Arrowhead area.
Oh, yeah. I've heard. Yeah, you were there last week or two.
Yeah, like last month or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we were prepared this time around.
Seems like you're always on vacation, though. I swear, you're always somewhere.
Yeah, I know. It just, the family's trying to take advantage of the fact that everyone's remote. And, it's an opportunity for the family to hang out and be in new places before we all have to go back to where we need to be, in an office or in a school setting. So.
Yeah, my girls just went to school for the first time this week.
Oh, I thought they've always been in school.
Well, they have been, but they've been out of school. We have in Missouri what's known as snow days. And whenever, like Monday morning, it was -7 with the wind chill, it was like -25, and then Sunday night we got like 3 or 4 inches of snow, and then there was more snow coming Monday. And so, when it's negative something, then your ice melt stuff just doesn't work. It doesn't work as good. So they didn't want the buses sliding around with kids in it, or the kids standing out at the bus stops, or freezing when it's sub-zero. And not every kid, believe it or not, this will blow your mind, but not every parent buys good coats for their kids. I know it blows my mind, but they're standing out there with a T-shirt and a light windbreaker jacket, and it's negative whatever. We have snow days, or if there's just so much snow that you can't travel, then they cancel school for the day. So Monday through Thursday, our schools have been canceled over snow and temperatures. And then they just went to school today to turn around and, go home at 4:00. And like, why not just at that point, just say, see you Monday. Next week, we're going to be 55 degrees on Wednesday. But right now we're having a heat wave. I'm only wearing 3 layers of shirts right now, and it's 32 degrees.
So when there are snow days, with the kids having now and the schools having the whole know how to do remote school, do they sort of just switch over? Or
well, you would think, because a couple times in the fall, my daughters were contact traced, and they were like, oh, you got to quarantine, sit at home, and they were able to log into their student portal or whatever and get their assignments and still do their classwork. Well, on snow days, you would think it would work like that now that we've all adapted to this Zoom online world, but
no one wants to.
No, but yeah, Jeff City schools are like, no, we don't know how to do that. But meanwhile, just 15 miles down the road, a little bitty town, I think K through 12, there might be 200, 300 students in the whole school system. They figured out how to do it, but Jeff City can't figure it out. Okay. So whatever, I don't know.
Yeah.
But
That's cool.
in our school calendar year, they build in so many snow days, and then if there's more than what they build in, then they take a couple days from spring break, or they'll tack on at the end of the year. So if you're supposed to get out May, I don't even know what the last day is. If it's supposed to be May 15th and you need to make up 3 more days, then they'll just extend it till May 18th.
Cool.
But I think they build in 6 snow days a year, and we've already had 4 this week and 2, 3 last week. So yeah, their school year will probably either be extended or their spring break will be shortened.
I see. So you grew up in the same school system?
No, I only attended this school system 3 years. But I was in Missouri. I moved from southeast Missouri in the Boot Hill down up to Jeff City. So same school or same we did the same thing down there.
We need it to brush. We need it to flush. We need it to shower and bathe. We use it to clean, to cool our machines. We need to consume it each day. But when it comes down and floods the whole town, destroying the things we hold dear, so quickly it seems the thing we most need can actually be what we fear.
Water, your best friend or your worst enemy. If you suspect water damage at home or work, call Lonnie with Restore It Restoration at 632-9283. Restore It Restoration, with you every step.
Cool. So when it's snow days, it's just everything shuts down, just chill. That makes sense rather than...
Well, sometimes they'll do a 2-hour late start. Every 3 days this week. Monday was flat out just, it's too cold and nasty. Don't even try. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, it started out as 2-hour late start to, at 6:30 in the morning, they were canceling school. So 2-hour late start makes sense. They can still count it as a full day of school. And 2 hours later, like they start at 8:40, kids start showing up at like 8 o'clock or something like that. So 2 hours later, give everybody a chance to get off the road, give the snowplow guys a chance to do their thing and salt the roads and stuff like that. And but when it's negative 20, 25 degrees, ice melt stuff mainly, it stops working. Well, it doesn't work as well when it starts hitting single digits, and then most of it stops working below negative 15 degrees or something like that. So anyway, it's just our little world we live in. Meanwhile, I'm still able to pull out, drive my box truck through it.
Wow.
And
good old box truck.
It's a whole animal. I don't pull it out a lot, just willy-nilly in the winter, because that is my main money maker. And if I slide off and hit a tree or run into a car or something, I'm out of business for a while, because you don't just replace everything that's in there just overnight. It's not like, you total out your car today, you could be in a car tomorrow, You just don't, my machinery that's bolted in there, it takes forklifts and 4 or 5 men to slide it, move, try to push it around. And, you just don't do that overnight. Wow. So I drive very, very slow, and I only pull out when I have to. And then whenever I open the door, when it's negative 20 degrees, I'll, start the motor in the back, close the doors, get it warmed up, then drive over to where I'm going as soon as I get to your house, and then I'll get out and open up the back door and start my motor again, keep it warm, and try to keep water moving, because moving water does not freeze. So I got to keep it moving, keep it hot, and then it generates heat. And whether I'm going to use anything out of there or not, I got to keep it running. But I'm not stupid enough to drive with live fire going with gasoline burning, you know what I mean?
You hear that dog? You hear that dog in the background?
Yeah, that's about all I can hear.
That's the neighbor across the street.
Neighbor across the street's dog, huh?
Yeah. Because I'm the stranger.
Go scared away then.
No, the homeowner's there on the other side, on their property, on the phone as well. She's probably podcasting.
Yeah, you want to? Well, did it stop? Sound like it stopped.
Yeah, I think its throat got dry and went to go wet its mouth and come right back.
Gotcha.
So
yeah, it's a whole different animal when you're trying to do service work. When you pull in, you know, some streets I have to ask them, like, what are your roads like to get to your house? What's your driveway like? Do you live at the bottom of the hill? Because I'm not taking a 12,000-pound toboggan down a hill if it hasn't been plowed yet.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'll do a lot of crazy stuff, but I got to ask a lot of additional questions. I got to ask more questions about getting to your house than I ask about what's going on in your house. Like, because then I say, hey, have you plowed your driveway yet? I'm about to back in a box truck into your driveway. Is it a steep driveway? Does it slant up or slant down? You know, if it's, you know, going up or down and it's steep, then please get out between now and the time I get there, plow out, you know, whatever you can in the street so I can park a box truck out there. And most people don't follow directions. And, you know, it's like, I'm trying to help you, but I got to be able to get to you. It was one guy called yesterday, the day before, 3 days, I don't know, 1 to 3 days ago. He called wanting me to go down to some town. I've seen the road sign to turn left at, but it's like an hour one-way drive to get there. And I just said, I'm so sorry. If you need help next week, then give me a call. But I said, I'm too busy to drive an hour one way to look at your house, not knowing if we're working 1 hour or 12 hours to drive an hour back, freezing everything I own, freezing up everything. I don't really want to drive more than 10 miles at a time. And there's so much work right here. I won't even go to my next neighboring town. I do a lot of work in, it's Columbia, Missouri, and it's 30 miles north. Any other day of the week, I jet up there. It's 30 minutes, no big deal, you know. But I'm not driving my box truck in the snow, freezing all my water pumps and fittings and dehumidifiers and everything. Do you want to pause this until that dog stops?
No, it's fine. We'll roll with it. Yeah, I think the dog is just being brave. Because the other homeowner came home, so, you know, she has to, you know,
let everybody know there's a stranger.
No, or just let her know, like, I'm tough. I'm going to bark. Yeah, sorry about that.
No biggie. So 64 degrees. So you're twice my temperature right now. You're eating steak outside. I got a T-shirt on, a long sleeve T-shirt, and a hoodie on, and I'm freezing at 32 degrees. But it's a heat wave.
Oh my God. Yeah, there are parts here that still have a good chunk of snow on the ground and on some roofs, you know, and then there's still a lot of snow pushed off to the side of the road. It's just thankful that it's all drivable.
There you go. No chain needed.
Yeah, even though we did bring it. And yeah, I'm happy.
Good. Well, I had an interesting situation happen earlier.
What is that?
So we have a very large bank right here, and they own properties. Actually, they own facilities all around the Midwest, and but they're headquartered right here. And then they own a ton of businesses or buildings, not businesses. A ton of buildings all over Jeff City. And so right on the main high street, right downtown, they send me, you know, a lady called. These people, I'm their first go-to guy to find out all their mysteries, right? So I show up to this building. It's a locked, secured, like I need a bond to work in this building, right? And in case I steal something or whatever. So I get let in. And I'm like, hey, where's my contact? We haven't seen him. I'm like, okay, that's weird, but whatever. I said, well, at least point me in the direction of where this water damage is at. So they have a flat roof. And of course, there's like 12 inches of snow, 12 plus inches of snow up there. And there's a leak up there. And so I told the lady, like, you need to get your maintenance people up there on the roof, shoveling snow out of where this area is at. And then they found a roof drain that was clogged up, froze up, whatever. And so it's leaking inside. And then so I went up, talked to the gal that let me in. I was like, hey, how do you get to the roof? She's like, I don't know. I just work up front here. And so I'm just wandering around this secured building. Every door has either a punch code or a key card to open the door, or a master key. Like, I can't just open any office door. They're all secure, right? So I see this lonely little ladder sitting in back into the hallway, and I was like, I know they're up there on the roof, but I just climbed this random ladder sitting in a hallway, poke my head above the ceiling, and then I see like there's a maze of tunnels up there, and then I hear noise, and I can see a little glimmer of daylight all the way, like 15 feet over, and I had to crawl through catwalks between this the drop ceiling tile and the regular fire block ceiling, and climbing over pipes but you go 2 feet this way and then 4 feet to the right and then 2 feet that away, and going around, structural, beams and stuff. And I room over here with a little bitty ladder going up to the roof. And I just put my head up and I'm like, hey guys, what's going on? And they're like, who the hell are you? I was like, hey, I'm Lonnie. And then Doyle was there, and he goes, oh, I know you. I met you at the new Bloomfield Bank. And so we figured out, they just literally called me to find where this leak is coming from with my infrared camera. Meanwhile, I have competitors downstairs sucking the water out of the floor. And then I ended up having to tell them where the water's at and what to do how to fix it. And they just literally hired me to find the pipe that's frozen with my infrared camera, because I could see through the walls, and we found it. And but it was kind of cool. Like, nobody knows where the roof access is at, and apparently it's up in you move one tile in the drop ceiling tile, and then you crawl through a doorway and through a smoke wall, and then you just crawl through this tiny little maze of catwalks up there, climbing over plumbing pipes and crawling around structural I-beams and stuff like that to find this little bitty room that gets you up there on the roof. And it's kind of cool.
That's cool. It's just a party.
Yeah. Yeah. 3 guys are up there shoveling snow around.
3 service guys and a shovel.
Yeah. Well, these are the maintenance guys that work for the bank. And, they had to crawl through there with snow shovels. And it was kind of it was a little challenging without trying to drag a snow shovel, but it was kind of cool. Just this random ladder in the middle of a hallway leading up through a hole in the ceiling of the drop ceiling tile. And you just poke your head up. It's like, here's where the fun's at.
Fun. What was going on in I guess places in Texas are dealing with extreme snow and whatnot conditions where they ordinarily don't. So I've been watching Facebook, friends, went to high school with on Guam, who, they've been living in Texas for quite a while now, and they're like out of power and things, and they don't have access to heating their home with, gas and things of that nature. So they're like having to just,
and even if, they don't have electricity, so the gas is working, but the the electricity to run the blower motors and stuff isn't working. They're in a mess. My dad literally left last week, He went to his niece's house in Houston, Texas, thinking, I'll be back someday when it warms up, in a week or 3 or a month or 3. And he has no agenda. He's retired. So he went down to Houston to his niece's house, and he gets there. There's no electricity, frozen pipes everywhere. And so that they finally got electricity, but now they're finding all the water damage in that place.
Yeah.
It's a mess. That's a mess. And then my network of people, like, there's work. I could literally take my truck and just go to Texas and find work if I wanted to.
Yeah. That's nuts because they don't have to deal with frozen pipes ordinarily, I guess. And now it's just
and Dallas, Texas. I got a friend of mine, a fraternity brother of mine, lives in Dallas. He's a cop there, and he's from right here in mid-Missouri. He knows how to drive in snow and ice and stuff. But he says down here, man, they shut the whole town down if we get a dusting of snow. They don't even know how to, they'll sprinkle some sand and hope it works. And he's like, the whole town just shuts down for a dusting of snow, which doesn't happen very often. He's lived there since 2000. But yeah, like 3 times in 20 years, he's had to, shut down. But meanwhile, their buildings without power. So all the cops that he normally works in the office, but there's no electricity in there. And a generator only runs like exit lights and minimal, nothing. So they're all sitting in their car, running their cars the whole time to stay warm. It's crazy. When you got the whole state of Texas under national emergency, weather emergency, whatever, they don't have the infrastructure at all. They don't have snow plows. They don't have the salt brine stuff that we do that, our guys sprinkle and run around and drop everywhere. They're in a mess, and it's going to take a long time. And then I'm seeing some pretty wicked photos from the guys that are working down there. Stuff I've never seen, icicles from the ceiling to the floor with a big gaping hole, just I've never seen that in my I've seen icicles go from like your porch to the ground, but I've never seen it in the house.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't been paying attention to too many stories, but my wife's telling me about things like folks are trying to, heat up their home with their vehicle, and people are,
Yeah. So anytime there's natural disasters with snow and ice and temperatures like that, when you like last I heard there was 20 deaths. A lot of that is doing stuff like they're trying to heat their home with their car exhaust, or they're trying to heat their home with a barbecue grill, or they usually die of carbon monoxide poisoning. Yeah. Or they'll bring kerosene heaters in and which I get. You got to do something. If you would think people would know not to run their car in the garage and open the door and think that's going to heat. It's horribly sad.
It is. Half of your brain is frozen and you're not thinking straight, and you just want some sort of heat. Yeah. Bad.
Yeah, it's a bum deal. They don't know how to handle it. Meanwhile, we're business as usual for the most part. I didn't slow down at all.
That's good.
I don't schedule 6, 7, 8 o'clock appointments when it's snowy and cold like this. I don't even start thinking about 10 o'clock. Just give everybody a chance to get off the road. Give the road crew guys time to do their magic, and then I just tell them, hey, I'm leaving my shop. I'm on the west side, and I'll see you in 15 to 45 minutes, depending. And they're like, hey, get it. I understand. Drive safe. Oh, speaking of driving safe, 2 days ago, so I'm driving westbound, right?
Uh-huh.
And it always cracks me up when all these 4-wheel drive vehicles are just driving, like it's 85 and sunny, and, they're rolling 70, 80 miles an hour on ice, right? So this guy's passing me. Now, granted, I'm in my box truck, and I'm driving 40 miles an hour because I don't want to slide and I want to have reaction time and, stopping time and stuff like that. So I'm driving 40, and the road conditions, I mean, most people were driving 40. So this guy in a 4-wheel drive pickup with a little bitty, single axle garden tractor, he goes flying past me in the driving lane that's just snow packed. It's just nothing but a sheet of ice. Well, he gets 100 yards ahead of me, and he gets to sliding around, and the trailer gets whipping around, and he jackknifes the trailer right in front of me. And I watch him bounce off the concrete Jersey wall, shoot across the 2 lanes of traffic on an embankment, turn around, spin around, and now he's facing me. And I know everybody behind me, they can't see, you can't see around a box truck, right? Yeah. And we're all driving slow except for this idiot. So I just literally, I look in my mirror, nobody's beside me. I take both lanes and I start coming to a stop, and then and eventually do stop and let this guy figure, hey, I would want somebody to do that for me. I thought he would do however many, multi-point turn to turn around and get faced in the right direction. But meanwhile, I'm stopped, taking up both lanes of traffic. Nobody can pass me on either side. Yeah. Somebody's on my bumper, laying on the horn, flipping me off and giving me the bright lights. And I was like, you don't know how lucky you are, because I just helped you avoid a situation, Exactly. And next thing you know, this guy is driving at me, on a highway. He's driving at me. And I'm thinking, what are you doing, dude? What are you doing? Dude, what? He's getting closer. Finally, I just get over in my drive lane, and I let him drive, and everybody behind me, they're like, now all of a sudden they're like, I see one guy in a pickup, his eyes got big and bright. He's like, what? And so this guy is driving into oncoming traffic. They're trying to get out of his way, and he just made a left, and he made a left and took an exit ramp and got up and out of there. And I'm sure he had to clean his seat after that whole ordeal. And it happened so fast. I was on the phone with a friend of mine. I was like, whoa. And, it's like, whoa. And they're like, you okay? I was like, just hold on. I don't know what's going on, because I see him. So he hits the concrete wall, and then he hits the little curb and then jumps up into the embankment, and then he spun around and facing me. And I was like, just hold on. I'll talk in a minute when I know what's going on. That was crazy. That was 2 days ago.
I can totally visualize what's going on. Holy crap.
And then he drove at me. Dude,
while the guy behind you is giving you the bird.
Go up a mile to the next exit and clean your seat out and wipe your pants off.
I thought you were gonna say he was coming right at you. You pulled into your lane, and then the guy ran into the guy that was flipping the bird and honking at you from behind.
That would have been funny. But yeah, luckily nobody was immediately beside me.
Yeah,
and I had plenty of stopping time, because on ice and snow, as you learned the other day, you don't just slam on your brakes and think you're going to stop in 10 feet. You might slide another 50 feet.
Yeah.
So I just let off the gas and mostly let the truck come to its own stop. And, give that guy plenty of room. I didn't encroach on him or nothing. I was just like, hey, you do what you got to do, dude. We've all been there. I've never done that, but I've been in awkward situations where I was, literally, making a mess in the seat. I've been there.
He jackknifed and faced the other direction, and he still had the trailer on him.
Yeah, and I know he has body damage and alignment issues. I mean, he literally got off the road, and I bet he has a mess in his truck.
Yeah.
Brown and yellow.
Not like the toilet overflow image that you sent the other day. It looked like brown carpet all over the bathroom. I should put you in one of those restoration groups, just so you can see some of the stuff that we talk about and share pictures of.
That was pretty bad. That's what they call brown trout right there. That's
a
pure brown trout.
Wall to wall.
Yes. And it looked about 6 inches deep of just raw sewage.
Yeah, if people could scroll through if listeners could scroll through the texting history of either our phones, they'll see a bunch of gnarly stuff that comes primarily from you and your community.
Yeah, or my work product, my work photos.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just left the job. The lady, so a plumber referral calls me last night, and so I talked to this lady, and I was like, man, I don't want to deal with this tonight at 8:00 at night. So I said, I'll be by sometime tomorrow afternoon. And I get there, and this basement is roughly 30 by 30, the garage basement area. And it is so packed full of belongings. And she's been storing all her kids. Sounds like there's a daughter and a son. And there's a bunch of stuff in there. And I had to tell her, like, ma'am, you need to call the trash company, get a 30-yard roll-off brought in. You need to go through this and figure out what is trash, what is salvageable, or, what's good, what do you want to keep. And I said, and then call me in a week or two when you get through all this. And then we'll come in and we'll remove your ceilings and walls and start looking at drying things out at that point. It was a mess, and there was no way. I don't have the time, and quite frankly, the patience to stand there and sort through and look through everybody's belongings. It was packed to the gills. There was one path that made it over to the roll-up, the garage door. There was one path. The rest of it was just packed to the ceiling with everything from hunting gear to fake flowers to family heirlooms to baskets to hunting equipment to lots and lots of cleaning chemicals and paint cans and chunks, stacks of wood, like fireplace wood and lumber and a freezer. And it was packed full. And I told her last night, I said, we are too busy right now to go through and itemize each and everything for you. So she's going to do that. And I called my friend at the trash company and said, how you doing on roll-offs? He goes, oh, we're good, but we can't get them to you until Tuesday. I'm like, great. I don't have to deal with this until next week. And it's going to take her at least a week, maybe 2 weeks to go through and sort through and figure out what's trash. Most of it is trash. And then the kids are supposed to come get their stuff and haul it out of there. And then they got to find a storage locker to put the stuff that they want to keep. Yeah, that's a mess. And that's why I say, I don't know if I'm going to be there 1 hour or 12 hours, because sometimes we have to go through, if it's a small amount, I'll do some of that. But to me, I don't know what's valuable to you and your family. What's a family heirloom? What's to me, chunks of lumber, to me, that's scrap. But to them, they might be building a doghouse on Monday, and that's their material. I don't know, but it's at the bottom of a pile. There's wet mattresses and box springs in there. What all? I don't even know what all's in there. Lots of guns too.
Wow. But you go in. It's like when you're in labor. You don't know if you're going to be there like in 20 minutes or for a whole day. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it's busy times right now.
Oh, that's good. Good. Busy business. Very good.
And this is like the best year starting out so far. 21 is good because sub-zero temperatures for 2 weeks leads to lots of frozen pipes. And then what happens is a lot of outside water spigots, garden hoses.
Yeah,
they're frozen, and people won't find out until they start watering their flower beds or cleaning their patios and porches and decks and stuff. And outside spigots like that, they don't shoot water until you open it up, and then it floods the house. Yeah. So if you're home by yourself, thinking, oh, the kids and wife and kids are gone. I'm going to pressure wash the driveway and get all the salty grime off and stuff for the spring. And they're gone shopping or over at grandma's house, and you're thinking you're doing your thing, and you don't even have a clue that you're watering your basement the whole time you're pressure washing the driveway. And then, so that'll be popping back. Well, first we got sub-zero temperatures with the immediate pipe breaks, and then with this much snow, then we're going to have a lot of snow melt issues going on. So that'll bring more work next week. And then in a couple of weeks when spring breaks and stuff, then we'll have that rash of work coming in. And then there will be the old people that are, old enough that they don't go to the basement at all. And they'll have a frozen spigot that they won't find out until July when their grandkids come in and say, Grandma, the basement's all wet. What are these funny things growing on the carpet? They're growing mushrooms in their basement and they don't know it. And they just shut the door and they never go in their basement until the family comes over. And so June, July, August, I'll have a bunch of mold work coming our way.
It's seasonal. It's a cycle.
Right. Yes, sir.
Gonna have to repurpose some of those old blog posts about frozen pipes and things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you're on vacation and I'm sitting here making money with equipment while I'm sitting still with frozen pipes.
Yeah, you're just waiting for Mother Nature to wreak its havoc on people's plumbing.
Yeah, it hasn't been this cold since 2014. I mean, we dip into sub-zeros maybe for a day or two every year, but there's also a lot of Januaries. It can be 85 degrees here and, wearing shorts. And but not this past couple weeks.
It's pretty cool. There's
Yeah.
a little patch of snow down the hill from where we're at.
And you're at Lake Arrowhead?
Yeah. And got a view into down below north of here is towards Barstow or Victorville or something. Like that means anything to you?
I don't know where that's at.
Yeah. Cool.
Don't know.
Yeah, if the roads here were if it were snowed and iced, there's no way that I'd want to. I mean, we lucked out because to get here, a lot of winding roads and up and uphill, downhill type stuff, and I don't know what I'm doing when it comes to driving on really cold conditions like that.
Slow and steady, no sudden movements.
Yeah. Well, learned a lot last trip.
No sudden stops, no sudden, just easy.
This is cool. Gives the family, gives the kids exposure to new communities and gives us as a family exposure to new type houses and stuff. And then, it's like being getting cultured.
Well, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, the place here.
About.
Yeah, this particular place, they want us to haul our own garbage out and then just drop it off at the drop off sites, around Lake Arrowhead. Fortunately, we don't have a lot of garbage and recyclable sort of mass, so that's really easy to do. I imagine, doing garbage collection is really tough up in the mountain communities.
Oh, I bet in the snow.
Yeah,
and then barrels are put somewhere, not really conducive to getting picked up very easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just got an email. Somebody's trying to sell me a mold system. The backpack sprayer starts at $5,500. No, I'm not interested in that. Kurt just sent me an attachment.
Yeah.
Yeah. He sends me some pretty wicked messages sometimes. Funny.
All right. I think I need to go.
All right, man. Good catching up. Hope everyone got a glimpse into what it's like to try to service people in the weather around here. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah. Very good. Good catching up.
All right, we'll talk soon. See you.
They'll get your life back to normal. Lonnie with Restore It Restoration.
And there he is.
Ruel!
Lonnie.
Can you hear me
Can you
okay?
hear me okay? Yeah. Yes.
Did we just ask each other the same thing?
Yeah, we're like a little BFF school.
I'm trying to light my heater here real fast. It's cold, man. It's cold.
What's it like over there?
Man, over the weekend, without wind chills, it was like negative 10 or 15 plus wind chills.
Oh, boy, that's cold. That is cold.
Today we got a heat wave, and we're sitting at 32.
Oh.
Yeah. What room in the house are you in?
I'm on the porch. It's 64 degrees.
Sounds a little echoey or something.
Yeah, it's weird because I'm out in the open.
Oh, okay. Well, I can hear you just fine.
Cool.
And Kurt Leopard, he talks funny anyway, and he'll be listening. So it's all good. It's all good.
I'm out in the open. I'm on a porch. I'm eating steak. Having a late lunch.
Steak? Is it cooked steak or?
Yeah, it's cooked.
It's cooked this time? No more raw spleen?
No, because we're out on a trip. My raw spleen with me.
Oh, you're on vacation again.
Kinda.
Hello.
The kids are in school. Remote.
Oh, staycation.
My wife's working, and I'm just trying to relax, take care of other matters. Yeah, like eating a steak.
Yeah, that sounds very good. My stomach's been growling actually since about 10. This is the first time I've really sat without driving or crawling up I was on a roof earlier of the bank building. Yeah, this is the first time I've sat and not had to think about much for a long time.
So
my parents, everybody's good there.
That's good.
Yep, Vanessa's good. And did I tell you she had an emergency CT scan?
You did. What?
Yeah.
In the world? A lot of fun.
And I forgot what it's called. It's something rare, and I don't even know what it is.
I could tell you because I committed it.
You committed it to memory? My wife's ailments?
Yeah.
That's kind of creepy, dude.
That's how I roll. Actually, no. I'm sure if I scroll through history, I'll find out something like along the lines of appendigitis. Yeah,
that's what it is. Yeah, appendigitis. My shop is freezing. It's like 55 degrees in my shop. So are we kicking this off? What are we doing? We got a topic or what?
I guess we should kick it off.
This has been another Coffee with Heavy Cream production.